Every morning at 7 o'clock sharp, the little bell above the cafe door would ring, and every morning, Mr. Rubin would walk in. Old brown coat, gentle smile, same quiet hello. He didn't talk much, didn't stay long, just ordered his usual black coffee, and every single time asked for an extra cup. Just an empty one, please, he'd say kindly. With a lid, the new barista, Ellie, noticed. She'd only worked there 2 weeks, but even in that short time, Mr. Rubin's routine stood out. Some customers were loud, others were picky, but Mr. Rubin, he was soft, gentle, like the kind of person who knew how to listen. But still, why the second cup? He never explained. Ellie didn't mean to be nosy, but the mystery started to grow in her mind, like a story waiting to be told. One Thursday morning, it was slow at the cafe. No line, no rush. Mr. Rubin walked in like always, smiling politely, nodding to Ellie as she made his order. He handed her the money, then added softly, "And an extra cup, if you don't mind." Ellie gave it to him, just like before, but as he turned to leave, something made her pause. Curiosity tugged at her thoughts. Why the second cup? What did he do with it? She watched him through the window as he crossed the street. Then he did something she didn't expect. He stopped at the corner, bent down, and handed the second cup, not to a friend, but to a woman sitting on the sidewalk, wrapped in a sleeping bag. Next to the cup, he placed a small folded note. The woman smiled. Rubin nodded, and then he walked away. That simple act stirred something in Ellie, something she couldn't shake. It wasn't just once. Ellie started paying closer attention. Every morning, like clockwork, Rubin ordered 2 cups. Every morning, he crossed the street to that same spot, and every morning, he left 1 cup and 1 note for the woman outside. It didn't matter if it was rainy, windy, or cold. He never missed a day. Ellie started setting the second cup out before he even asked. Something about it felt important now, like part of a secret ritual. But questions kept swirling in her heart. Who was the woman? Why the notes? Why did Rubin care so much? Ellie decided it was time to find out, not just what Rubin was doing, but why. Do you believe a small act of kindness can change someone's day, or even their life? Like this video, if you've ever witnessed quiet kindness. Comment below, what would you write in an encouraging note, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that touch the heart. The cafe sat on the corner of Maple and 3rd, in a town where life moved slow, and people knew each other by name. But just across the street, outside the bookstore that had closed last year, a different kind of life waited. The woman Rubin visited had no name tag, no warm coat, no safe place to return to, just a sleeping bag, an old backpack, and tired eyes. Ellie had never spoken to her. Most people didn't. They passed by, like she wasn't even there. But Rubin didn't. He saw her, every single day, and with each cup, each note, he reminded her, "You still matter." Ellie's heart was full of questions, but one morning, those questions finally found their answers. The morning was colder than usual, frost on the sidewalk, breath like clouds. Ellie handed Rubin his usual, but before he turned to go, she said gently, "Do you mind if I ask about the second cup?" Rubin paused. He looked down at the coffee, then back at Ellie. He smiled. "I used to work downtown," he said quietly. "Every morning, I walked this road. One day, I saw her just sitting there. Same place, didn't ask for anything." He took a breath. "The next day, I brought her a coffee. She didn't say much, but the 3rd day, she thanked me." Ellie nodded, listening closely, and after a week, Rubin said, "I left her a little note, just something simple. 'You're not alone today,'" she cried. Ellie's eyes widened. "She told me once," Rubin continued, "that no one had spoken to her in days, not even to say hello. I figured, I can't fix everything, but I can do something." Ellie's chest ached in that warm, heavy way, when something true hits you deep. Ellie wanted to help, so she did something small, but important. The next morning, she tucked a packet of sugar and a napkin into the second cup. On the napkin, she wrote in neat handwriting, "Thinking of you." When Rubin saw it, his eyes softened. He didn't say much, just nodded, and smiled a little deeper. Day by day, Ellie added small touches, a chocolate, a muffin, a flower picked on her walk to work, and Rubin kept leaving his notes. Ellie never read them. Those were private, but she knew they mattered. One morning, the woman across the street looked up, right at Ellie, and mouthed the words, "Thank you." Kindness, it seemed, wasn't just about what you gave, but how much heart you gave with it. Spring came slowly that year. It was the kind of spring you barely noticed at first. Just little things. A robin on a windowsill, patches of sunlight, staying a bit longer, people switching from heavy coats to sweaters. Flowers started to bloom along the sidewalk, cracks near the cafe. The air smelled fresher, softer, and then, something changed. The woman was gone. Ellie noticed right away. She looked across the street, like she always did, but the corner was empty. The sleeping bag, the old backpack, the cardboard sign she never used, all gone. At first, Ellie told herself, maybe it was temporary. Maybe the woman had stepped away, or moved spots. But by the third day, the silence across the street felt loud. She felt it in her chest, a strange mix of worry and hope. Had something bad happened, or something good? The next day, Reuben came in, like he always did. Same old coat, same soft smile. But this time, he didn't ask for the second cup. Ellie handed him his coffee, then gently asked, "Did she leave?" Reuben paused for a moment, then smiled, not the usual small one, but something fuller, like sunlight breaking through clouds. "She's staying at a shelter now," he said. "A good one. Warm bed, real food, got some help, said she wants to start over." He looked down at his cup, then added softly, "Told me the notes made her believe she could." Ellie's heart swelled. She didn't know what to say. The thought that a few kind words, and a hot drink, could do that, it almost didn't feel real. But it was. Then Reuben reached into his pocket, and pulled out something small, a folded card. "She left this for you," he said. Ellie took it, hands shaking just a little. She unfolded the paper slowly, like it was something sacred. Inside, in soft handwriting, were the words, "The world is heavy, but someone cares. You matter. Keep going." Ellie stared at it, for a long time. She read it twice, then a third time. Tears pressed against her eyes, but she didn't wipe them away. She just smiled. Because this wasn't just a thank you note. It was proof that something small had made a big difference. And just like that, a simple extra cup became something so much more. Reuben never asked for attention. He didn't talk about what he did. He didn't take pictures. He didn't brag. He didn't post it online. He just showed up, every single day, with quiet hands and a warm heart. He didn't have much money. He wasn't famous. But what he did have was time, and kindness, and the belief that even a small act could matter to someone who felt invisible. And he was right. That woman on the corner, she didn't just get coffee. She got hope. She got noticed. She got seen. And in the end, that was enough to help her take the first step out of the cold and into something better. Ellie never forgot what she learned that year. She learned that being kind doesn't mean being loud. It means being there. It means giving without asking for anything back. It means seeing someone, really seeing them, even when the world passes them by. That old second cup Reuben asked for, it didn't just hold coffee. It held care. It held connection. It held something that can't be measured in dollars or awards or likes. It held the kind of love that changes lives quietly, gently, and for good. Reuben kept coming to the cafe. Sometimes he asked for a second cup, again, for someone new. Sometimes not. But he always left with that same calm smile. And Ellie started writing her own notes. Little ones, nothing fancy. Sometimes she'd leave one in a library book. "You are enough, exactly as you are." Sometimes on a park bench, "You're not alone." Sometimes in the grocery store, between cans of soup, "You matter. Keep going." Most people never saw who left them, but some did, and that was enough. Because Ellie had learned the same truth, Reuben already knew. Kindness doesn't have to be loud to be life-changing. It just has to be real. Final narrator line. Because in a world that rushes past, the quietest acts of love are often the ones that echo the longest. What would your note of encouragement say? Share it in the comments. Like this video if you believe small kindness makes a big difference. Subscribe for more true-hearted stories that stay with you.